Hi guys, and welcome to this video. It is an incredibly late video, but that is because of life reasons. But I'm finally here to film this video for you, even though it is so late and it's already almost February. But here's my December wrap up for you guys. And in this video, I am wrapping up the books that I read in December. So let's just start talking about them. I did not read a lot of books. I only read 4. I was very upset by that because there were so many I wanted to read and I was only able to get to four of them. But here they are. Oh god. These are the 4 books that I read that we are going to talk about. The first one is Her by Pierre-Alex Gianti. And this is a collection of poems about women empowerment and women's strengths, and yeah. I liked this, but to be honest, I don't think I remember a single poem from this book. So it was nice, and it was very easy to read, and I was able to understand, and they were empowering, but they were only empowering like in the moment, I guess, because none of them really stuck with me enough to have me remember them. So it was nice, but it was forgettable. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J Maas. This is the 3rd in the DC Icons series that I've been reading. And I'm not huge on superheroes, but these superhero books, I've been reading them because I really like the authors of them. They are also fun, and this one was fun as well. But this one did take me forever to read. I think this took me like 2.5 months to read, and it's not that big. It's just, it was very, very, very slow. So it just took me a while to read it and actually try and finish it. Overall, I really did enjoy it. The writing flowed very nicely. I really liked the story once we finally got to like some action-packed stuff by like the end. I also really loved the characters. I liked some of the characters. Now granted, I don't read comics and I don't really pay much attention to the superhero world and like the DC world, the Marvel world. I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. So I don't know how accurate this is to Catwoman's story. It might not be, but I enjoyed the story, and I was not a fan of the way she wrote Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. They just didn't feel sinister enough to me, because I feel like they're supposed to be very sinister and very evil, but at the same time you're supposed to like them in this book. But like, I liked them, but I didn't find them evil enough, if that makes any sense. I found Catwoman to be, you know, badass and evil, but also really loved her. That was the thing. I liked how these characters were like in morally gray areas, but I don't think she wrote Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn sinister enough. I also don't think she wrote the League very sinister enough. I don't know. There were just some characters that I feel like could have been developed better, and they weren't. However, I did like the romance that was in this, because it was like the perfect amount of romance for this type of book. It wasn't overdone, it wasn't underdone, it was just the perfect amount of romance. I did enjoy it. There were just a couple things I had issues with, but overall, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Then, of course, because it was Christmas time, and I had to read a Christmas book because I need to be in the Christmas spirit around that time. Usually I read more, but I only read 1, and that is The Afterlife of Holly Chase. This is a retelling of A Christmas Carol, and it's very interesting. I really like this one. We follow Holly Chase, who was a Scrooge, and so she got met by, you know, Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Future, Ghost of Christmas Present. Like, she met with all the ghosts. When she woke up, she did not change. She stayed the same, and then she died. And now she is the Ghost of Christmas Past. And she has to do this every year for a different Scrooge. And then 5 years later, they're going to like to handle a Scrooge, but the Scrooge this year is a teenage boy who she starts to have feelings for. It is great. I really loved this book. I loved this story and I love the take on A Christmas Carol. I honestly kind of want to reread this book. I never reread books, okay? Just to keep that in mind. I never reread books. Even books that I love, I don't reread them. It's just not my thing. But I wouldn't mind rereading this at Christmas time. Maybe in like 3 or 4 years, I might want to reread this again. But I really liked this story a lot. And I loved the characters, because the characters were unlikable, because obviously, like, they're Scrooges, you're not supposed to like them, but at the same time, I loved them. The ending just also took me by surprise. It was not the ending I was expecting, but I really liked that about it too. But I was still also very satisfied with the ending, because I know how I wanted it to end, but that's not how it ended. But I'm still happy with the ending. It's just like a very light, easy, feel-good book to read, so if that's kind of what you're in the mood for, this is obviously perfect. I will say some of the writing of it was like stupid. Because like, okay, I'll give an example. There was a sentence in this book that just, it made me laugh out loud because it was so stupid. Don't worry, the sentence isn't going to give anything away. Basically, she's at the movie theater watching a movie, and the sentence was, I watched the movie the way it was meant to be watched, like a movie. Isn't that how all movies are meant to be watched? I don't know. I was confused by that sentence. So that's like kind of the writing that was throughout the book. So it was a little stupid, but that's what makes it so like lighthearted of a story and lighthearted of like a writing style. So it's just meant to be like fun and not so serious. But this was such a super addictive book and I really, really liked it. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book I read is 4 Seasons in Rome by Anthony Doerr. This was my nonfiction pick for the month because all through 2018 I was trying to read 1 nonfiction book a month, and that is exactly what I did. However, this I did not finish. I DNF'd it because I was not liking it. This, we follow Anthony Doerr, who by the way is the author of All the Light We Cannot See and a few other books, but that's his most famous one. He spent a year in Rome on this like writer's retreat. What was it? I can't remember. But like he does this like writer's retreat for a year in Rome or something. But when he is going, his wife had just given birth to twins, so now he's also trying to take care of twins while also exploring Rome and writing and all this stuff. I made it farther than I thought I was going to make on this book. After reading the first season, which was fall, I was like, this topic is boring me to hell. But I continued to read all the way through the end of summer because I loved his writing style. I don't even know how to explain his writing style, but I loved his writing style. It was like so descriptive and just so like charming, I guess. But the topic is what bored me, so I stopped reading it. I liked the writing style, but just not the content. So overall, I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. And that is it. Those are the books I read in December. I will be coming out with a top 10 books for the year, as well as my top 10 movies and my top 10 TV shows. They are coming. They are going to be very late as well, and I'm sorry about that. Again, life things happened, and I just haven't had a chance to do this stuff. So, please also go check out my movie wrap-up for December, as well as just my life wrap-up for December. And I will see you guys later with more videos. Bye!